Judge, the state will be calling James Armstrong to the stand.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may be seated.
Mr. Armstrong, can you please state your first name and spell it for the benefit of the court reporter?
James Armstrong, James Armstrong.
And Mr. Armstrong, how are you employed?
I'm a senior forensic imaging specialist with the Wisconsin State Crime Lab in Milwaukee.
And what do you do as a forensic imaging specialist senior?
We handle a variety of internal and external requests. Internally, we handle a lot of photography of evidence, including fingerprints and footwear. Sure. We handle within the forensic imaging unit, we handle a variety of internal and external requests. This includes photographing fingerprints and footwear, along with also doing forensic video analysis as well.
What is forensic video analysis?
It's the examination of video pertaining to legal matters.
And what is your educational background?
I have a bachelor's of fine art in photography from Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design.
And have you worked in photography or anything else in your past?
Yes, before coming to the crime lab, I worked in commercial photography for 14 years.
Is your crime lab accredited?
Our crime lab is accredited.
And when you do some sort of forensic imaging, is there any kind of peer review process or anything that is done to check your work?
Yes, all the work that we do within forensic imaging is tech reviewed by another qualified analyst, and it's also administratively reviewed as well.
So when you're doing forensic imaging, does that include things like obtaining stills, zooming in? What kind of things do you do if you're forensically looking at a piece of video?
Yes, it requires us to examine the video, note any limitations of that video, and then provide any clarifications of that video if requested.
And have you been asked in this case to look at any video or other photography evidence?
Yes, I've been requested to look at different video that's been submitted to the lab.
I would ask that Exhibit 24 be put on the screens. Mr. Armstrong, I want to show you what has been previously marked as State's Exhibit 24. You look at either screen, whichever screen is more comfortable. Does that look familiar to you?
Yes, it does.
And what is that?
Those are 3 clarified images that I produced from item U, from video file that was submitted as item U.
So a video file was submitted by me, and you found an image and you clarified it.
That is correct.
How do you go about doing that?
I utilize a variety of software. In this particular case, I used ANT5 to enhance and clarify that image.
Now, is it your job to figure out what is in the image, or are you just providing or attempting to provide more clear or viewable images?
In this particular case, the request was just to clarify the item of interest in this video.
If I could have Exhibit 25, please. Mr. Armstrong, I'm showing you what has previously been marked as State's Exhibit 25. Do you recognize that?
Yes, this appears to be the video that I annotated as part of a request.
What do you mean by annotated?
I added the square box and the labeling to this video.
And is it your job to actually say who is who in the video, or are you just pointing out people of interest that have been designated to you?
I'm just pointing out people as designated.
And how did you go about making this exhibit?
To make this exhibit, we load the video file into M5, and then I essentially draw on that individual frames as it goes through, and then output a video.
Can we play Exhibit 25, please? So you annotated it all throughout that portion of the video?
That is correct, yes.
Did you enhance or clarify or do anything else in the video, or just simply annotate what was given to you as a raw video?
I just simply annotated that video.
Let's show you what is marked and previously entered as State's Exhibit 26.
Objection.
I'm asking for this has already been entered.
I heard it edited as State's Exhibit 26, okay.
26. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
And what is this?
This is another annotated video with an arrow.
And did you create this video as well?
I did, yes.
Similar to the last video, did you simply annotate it? You didn't change anything about the video?
That is correct, yes.
I'd like you to please just briefly play Exhibit 26. Now, again, is that someone you've identified or someone that was designated to you to mark?
That is someone that was designated to me to mark.
Mr. Armstrong, in this case, were you ever given a video and asked to get still shots of a snippet of a video?
Yes, I was.
And are you aware if that is the BG on the scene video? Do you recall?
I do not exactly recall with regards to that video, no.
But fair to say that we asked you to look at a short segment and produce every still image that you could?
Yes, that is correct.
And were you able to do that of this video?
Yes, that is correct.
And do you know how many stills that you received from that video?
729 stills.
And this morning, before we came over here, did you view a folder that had those stills in the from the video?
Yes, I did.
At this point, I'd like to mark and move a folder named Frames, which is State's Exhibit 80. I'd like to move that into evidence.
Objection.
No objection, Your Honor.
If I could have the next video exhibit 81. Mr. Armstrong, in addition to those videos that we've already mentioned, have you recently done any more forensic imaging work in this case?
Yes, I was provided another video file as item X.
And what did you do with item X?
With item X, I enhanced and enlarged the video file and cropped it to the area of interest.
I'd like to show you what is marked as State's Exhibit 81. Do you recognize this?
Yes, that appears to be the video's clarified video that I exported.
Now, did you have any difficulties clarifying or tracking this file?
The limitations of this file include the movement of the camera, movement of the person, and the lighting conditions that are present.
Now, you mentioned limitations. Did all these various videos you looked at have different limitations?
Yes, each had their own set of limitations.
I'd like you to, is this, I know did we watch this video this morning?
I believe so, yes.
And is it a true and accurate copy of the exhibit that you created of that drone video?
It appears to be so, yes.
I'd like to move exhibit 81 into evidence and play it for the jury.
No objection.
Go ahead. Proceed.
If I could have exhibit 82, please. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
What is this?
This is a video, again, clarified and cropped into the area of interest, and this video is slowed down by 50%.
And is it a true and accurate copy of the video that you've created for this exhibit?
It appears to be, yes.
Please, I'd like to move exhibit 82 into evidence and publish it to the jury.
No objection.
Proceed.
Mr. Armstrong, did I give you a specific area to sort of focus in on in this video?
Yes, you instructed that I look at the area near the sign, near some vehicles, and then as the person enters into the parking lot.
Were you able to zoom in tight on that area?
Not beyond what has been provided, no.
Can you go back to exhibit 81? Mr. Armstrong, let's give you this pointer. And if you could stop, please. Let's go to the beginning. If you could please point out, just stand up and point out the area of interest that I asked you to focus in on. So behind that, there's a black vehicle there. It'd be the rear of that black vehicle.
Yes, that is correct.
Can we play exhibit 81 again? And exhibit 82, please. Again, Mr. Armstrong, could you point out the area of interest in this video that I asked you to zoom in on? Again, it's to the rear of that black vehicle. We've been calling it the Duramax in this trial.
Yes.
Oh, the front of the vehicle, I apologize. But near that vehicle, the Duramax.
Yes, that is correct.
Can we play exhibit 82, please? You may sit down. Thank you. Let's see what is marked as States Exhibit 83. Do you recognize this?
Yes, it appears to be the video that's been clarified and then enlarged as well.
And is this a different part of that same drone video?
Yes, this is a different segment, picking up from the stopping point of the previous video and continuing on to where the video, the camera view turns away from the area of interest.
Is it true and accurate copy of the exhibit that you created?
It appears to be so, yes.
Could you, I'd like to move Exhibit 83 into evidence and publish it to the jury.
No objection, Your Honor.
Received.
If I could ask for Exhibit 84, please. Mr. Armstrong, what is this?
This is the same segment, except it's slowed down by 50%.
So everything else is the same, it's just slowed down by half?
That is correct.
I'd like to move Exhibit 84.
Did you say 50% or 60?
50%, Your Honor.
I'd like to move Exhibit 84 into evidence and publish it to the jury.
No.
Received.
Now, I'd like to ask for State's Exhibit 85. And Mr. Armstrong, what is this?
This is another clarified and enlarged video showing from approximately the 15-second mark until where the camera turns away from the area of interest.
And is it a true and accurate copy of the video that you produced for this exhibit?
It appears to be so.
I'd like to move Exhibit 85 into evidence and publish it to the jury.
No objection.
Received.
Exhibit 86, please. While that's being pulled up, Mr. Armstrong, there was no sound in any of these videos, were there?
I did not observe any sound with these videos, no.
And if I could just direct your attention to number 86, do you recognize that?
Yes, that's the same as the previous file. The only difference being, again, is that it is slowed down by 50%.
I'd like to move Exhibit 86 into evidence and play it for the jury.
No objection.
Received.
Okay, I have no further questions. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The exhibits we've just shown the jury, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, and 86, correct me if I'm wrong, but you began working on putting them together on Friday.
I began working on them on Sunday.
Okay. When did the crime lab receive them?
The crime lab received that as a submittal on Sunday.
Okay. And who submitted them to you?
It was ADA Jim Cross.
Okay. And you're familiar with the fact that we didn't receive these videos until Friday of last week?
I was informed that that was the circumstance, yes.
Okay. And when you do this, you're not adding color, correct?
That is correct. I'm not adding color.
You're not adding pixels.
With regards to enlargement, there is interpolation, and so pixels are added to that.
Okay. How is the color's not changed?
Color is not changed.
So if you blow something up 10%, what does that do for the pixel number?
The pixels will increase by interpolation of that area.
Okay. And what was the resolution of the source video for 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, and is it 86?
I would need to refer to my notes in order to be able to confirm that.
Please do, sir.
The resolution for that file, it was 1920 by 844.
And in layman's terms, what is that?
That's 1,920 pixels by 844 pixels.
Okay. And that's kind of tells you the clarity. The more pixels, the clearer it is.
The more pixels, the higher resolution, there's more information present.
Okay. And if you have to look at your notes, that's fine. Videos are done at certain speeds, so certain videos, whether it's a phone or whether it's a camera, they do it by frames per second.
That is correct.
The more frames per second, the clearer it is.
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. This one, how many frames per second, sir?
This video is 30 frames per second. 30.
So every 1 second, 30 different frames.
That is correct.
And you can use how many frames go by to time certain things, correct?
You can, yes.
Okay. You can use different videos if you can find a common event, such as a sound, to sync up videos to tell a whole story, correct?
That would be starting to move outside my area of expertise with that.
Okay. But you're familiar that it can be done, correct?
I'm familiar that it could be done.
Okay. And what is that called, if you know?
I do not know.
Okay. And you can take different videos from different sources, linking them through a common event, sometimes sound, put them together for a whole compilation.
With regards to audio, that's outside the scope of my expertise.
Okay. And you can also do it from events on the video if they have a common event, not audio, but a common event.
It depends on the video in question.
Okay. And in this case, when you put the marks person of interest, who told you to do that?
That was provided by the requester, ADA Jim Cross.
Because you don't know anything about these videos when you get them or anything about the case. You're just told, we think this person's important, we want them followed.
That is correct.
Okay. And in your case, I think you used yellow arrows.
I did, yes.
Okay. I have nothing further. Thank you.
Any redirect?
No, thank you.
You may step down, sir.